Musician Laura Ashley is originally from Rogersville, but is now making strides in the country music industry with all new music and a career in Nashville. And she joins me now via Zoom. Laura, how are you?
Hey, Blake, I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm good as well. Thank you so much for asking. So, Laura, you do have Ozarks roots. So tell me just first and foremost, what was it like growing up here for you?
Honestly, it was so darn magical. I love the Ozarks. Nashville's great too, but there's just something magical and sparkly about the Ozarks that will just always be home for me. And I loved every second of it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree with you. The Ozarks is very unique and it's a special place to be from. So, what do you feel like music has done for you, and when did you know or feel like it was something that you were going to do forever?
Yeah, it was kind of a long process. I was doing classical music for a really, really long time, but I remember being little and watching American Idol and then hearing the auditions and then sneaking in my closet just full of clothes where nobody could hear me, all muffled out, and singing and be like, okay, well, maybe I can do something like this. But I studied opera for quite a while and loved that, but eventually was like, I'm a country girl. What am I doing singing songs that are hundreds of years old? Like, I wanted to write my own music. So in college, I kind of switched to country music and then was in radio for a little bit and then moved to Nashville. And it's been a dream and it's been a ride and I regret nothing.
Yeah, that's important to regret nothing there. That's so interesting. From opera to country, it's like completely different worlds there.
Bizarre. It is. They're so vastly different, but I've learned a lot being on both sides of the coin. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah. Now, as we've talked about, you did make a big move to Nashville just a few years ago. So, what kind of inspired you or led you to make that jump and actually go there?
Yeah, I kind of felt like I had made all the waves that I could kind of in the Springfield, Rogersville area and wanted to kind of grow my artistry. And I felt like there were a lot more co-writers and
Mm.
people that I could aspire to be like in Nashville and learn and grow from. So eventually moved to kind of make that jump. And it just felt like the right time. So I was kind of listening to my gut. But I don't know if it was the right time because as soon as I moved here, COVID happened and then there
Sure.
was a tornado and it was a big mess. But hey, you know what? I still made it.
Yeah. I feel like there's never a true right time to do things. Sometimes you just have to go for it, and that's what you did. So, kudos to you.
Exactly. It was a little leap. It was a little messy, but
Yeah.
hey.
Hey, but it happens. Exactly. Exactly. Now, I know that you've opened for varying different country acts, and you've also written some songs with some other names in country music. But what are some inspirations in country music that some of us would know that you have?
Yeah, I mean, some of the obvious ones, Carrie Underwood, her just vocals so consistent, so powerful. I love those. And Faith Hill, I just love the richness and quality of her voice. But I'm a big 90s country fan, so anyone that was just, big in the 90s, yeah, will always have a place in my heart.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I think a lot of people agree with you. They still like kind of lingering with that old music, if you will. So,
It's-
you
yeah.
do have a brand new song titled Ozarks, and it was released earlier this month, and the music video actually drops today, which we'll be showing later in the show. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about this song and writing it?
Yes, I felt like the Ozarks has such a just a rich musical history, and there's not been a lot of nods to that. I know we have the show Ozarks that I know a lot of people are familiar with, but I can't say I quite resonated growing up with how
Sure.
the
Yep.
show portrayed Ozarks. So I really just kind of wanted to shed a spotlight on this beautiful area, and when you even in Nashville, when I talk about the Ozarks, people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful! I love it out there." Anytime I get a chance to go out there, so I really wanted to shine some light on the Ozarks, and it's kind of a neat story how this song came to be. Growing up, when I would get off of school, I would usually go hop on my horse a little bit, and we would just go explore. And so my narrative growing up was just. Growing up in the Ozarks was just all these beautiful landscapes, just being on the back of my horse, being in the middle of the country, and it was always magic. But there was one day we were kind of exploring and went a little bit deeper in the woods than we'd ever been before. And it was so funny. We started hearing a banjo, and I felt like I was in a movie as soon as I heard that because I'm like in the middle of nowhere on the back of my horse and I'm hearing a banjo. I'm like,
Mm.
what? I obviously need to, know where this is coming from. So I started following the sound and then started to hear a fiddle too. And it's like whoever was playing was really, really talented. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is magical. I'm going to follow this. And eventually came across a couple across from the James River from where we were standing. And they were a married couple. They looked super hillbilly, which just made everything so much better. The gentleman had a beard down to his knees. They were both barefoot. They were just dancing around this fire and jamming out. And I got this private concert on the back of my horse in the middle of the Ozarks. And it just felt so rural, so magical, and so Ozarkian that I was like, I'm never going to forget this. So the first lyric in the song is if you walk into the forest away from the city, take a breath, you'll hear a banjo get a little nitty gritty. And originally when
Ooh.
I was writing the song, I was like, that's gonna come off so cheesy, like it's too on the nose for country music. But the fact that it actually happened, I was like, I'm gonna own this. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how this song starts. And the music video kind of just captures a lot of the essence of the beauty of that moment and just the beauty of the Ozarks. So I'm really excited for
Yes.
everyone to see it and see what they think.
Yeah, that's incredible and so well said. You know what I love about this too is that a lot of people that are not from this area kind of just associate us with Branson. And Branson's great, but it's not all that we have here, so that's beautiful. Now,
Right.
tell me what people can kind of expect from the music video and what was your inspiration in kind of creating this music video?
Yeah, it's funny. My brother-in-law actually shot the music video, and he'd never done a music video before. His name's Evan Lawler, but he's just so creative, really, really great with a lot of visuals. He sells a lot of farms in the Ozark area, so he knows as far as like all the scenery of what's good to shoot. And so we just really wanted to capture just a lot of the beauty of the area, and definitely get my horse a little bit in there. She was kind of the start of the whole video, but yeah, so there's a lot of beautiful scenes just capturing a good snapshot of rural life in the Ozarks. And I think he did an amazing job capturing that. And I hope everybody else thinks so too. And I know the title is Ozarks, but I also, if you're not from the Ozarks as well, it's for really anyone from a small rural town that has just, fallen in love with the beauty of their town too.
Yeah,
So I didn't
yeah.
discriminate if you're not from the
Yes.
Ozarks, but
Yes, anyone will be able to find it relatable, which is important. Now, my final question for you, beyond this song, beyond this music video, anything coming up for you or anything that's next for you that you can tease for us?
yeah, honestly, I've got some more studio time booked, so I'm gonna be working on some more music very soon. So I'll keep everybody updated on
Okay.
all my socials too. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, speaking of that, how can people keep up with you and your music?
sure. I've got a website, Laura Ashley Music, and then on socials, it's all under Laura Ashley Music. And I try to do my best to get back with everybody. So feel free to, drop me a message and I'll
Yeah.
get back with you.
Reach out. All right. Well, Laura, thank you so much for your time. For all of our viewers, check out her brand new song, Ozarks, and feel some inspiration about our very own backyard.